Sophie Cunningham cries out for justice after being repeatedly hit by an opponent. The Golden State Valkyries crushed the Fever at home, but it was Sophie Cunningham who ended up at the center of the conversation after taking an elbow. What was supposed to be a night of celebration quickly turned into a nightmare. With over 16,000 fans packed into Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the Indiana Fever were steamrolled by the Golden State Valkyries in a crushing 80-61 defeat. The highly anticipated return of Caitlin Clark after injury had sparked hope, but the reality was far from ideal. Veronica Burton and Kayla Thornton turned the court into their personal shooting clinic from beyond the arc, while the Fever looked lost out of sync and without answers. Sophie Cunningham sends a message after taking an elbow. Beyond the scoreboard, there was one moment that ignited the crowd. Sophie Cunningham, clearly frustrated, pointed to her coach after taking a direct elbow to the chest from Tiffany Hayes. The play ended with a foul being called on Sophie. With her face flushed and her gesture firm, she immediately called for a review. It wasn't the first time Hayes had hit her hard during the game, and Cunningham, already in foul trouble, knew she couldn't keep letting it slide. It was a clear message, not just to the referees, but to the entire league. Sophie says she's tired of the officiating. Sophie arrived in Indiana as a gritty, intense player, but over the past few weeks, she's become more than that, a shield for her team. She doesn't just defend, she protects. But this time, not even that could stop the officiating chaos. The Fever have faced two constant enemies all season: injuries and referees. It's no coincidence that coaches from around the league seem to have new complaints every week. What happened to Sophie during this game was the last straw, and everyone in the arena felt it. Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark reflect on the loss. After the game, head coach Stephanie White didn't hide her frustration. "I felt like we didn't compete. We weren't focused, and that's disappointing." She came under heavy criticism for taking Caitlin Clark out just as the Fever were cutting into the lead. The decision left the crowd puzzled, and she still hasn't offered an explanation. As for Clark, she didn't mince words. "It all starts on the fence. We had problems with the plan, with execution. Nobody played well today. Indiana Fever must bounce back. This loss hurt not just because of the score, but because it came on a night that should have been full of energy with their star returning. They were at home, and they feel like the calls are going against them." Sophie Cunningham made it clear. She won't stay silent. She's fierce, loyal, and unafraid to call things out when they're wrong. It wasn't enough this time, but that fire might be exactly what Indiana needs to turn things around.